things just took a major turn for the Boston Celtics as Brad Stevens, although a lot of things are quiet in the NBA right now, he is still making some good moves for this team as they signed Chris Boucher to a one-year deal, but now they still have one roster spot open after that trade with Georges Niang to the Utah Jazz. What does this mean for a guy in Amari Williams and Charles Bassey with that open roster spot? Well, we're going to get into some of that in this video here on Celtics Digest. And welcome back to another video here, and I am Patrick Billings. And before we get into anything, of course, if you guys are a part of the percentage of people that are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're constantly dropping breaking news with the Boston Celtics. We know that things are a little bit slow, but when something comes out, we're going to go ahead and drop some news and give you some information. And as much as we hear on anything, you're going to get it from us. And if you missed anything on this Boucher signing and the trade with Georges Niang, Nick and Bruce drop videos on that. So go ahead and check that out if you want to before this one. And come and click right back because this is going to be a great video as well. And without further ado, let's get rolling into this one as we got a couple of guys to talk about. And of course, I'm going to talk about the Chris Boucher signing first, as there is a new man in town. Chris Boucher is definitely a great, solid pickup for the Boston Celtics. He has been great over there in Toronto for many, many years, as he was the last standing from that championship roster. So if you're a Raptors fan and you found your way over here, I'm sorry that that full team is fully gone, but he's going to come and help the Boston Celtics in great fashion, as of course, he came off the bench a lot for this Raptors team. He didn't get much opportunity, but this is the season of opportunity for the Boston Celtics, and I think that this is a great pickup for them. If we look at their depth chart here, you can look and see Chris Boucher would be, as listed, a backup center, but for me personally, I see him more in that 4 spot as he's 6'9", definitely a lengthy 6'9" as well with his wingspan. I can definitely see him slotting into that power forward position more than likely. I could definitely see Garza kind of playing in that backup center more than Boucher. If they do go small, I will 100% see Chris Boucher getting those backup minutes there in that lineup. But other than that, I mean, Neemias Queta playing some solid basketball in the Euros now, had a great game, so I'm sure they're giving him his flowers here in that starting position. But I don't see Sam Hauser playing the power forward here, and I could definitely see Chris Boucher getting some starting minutes here with the Boston Celtics, as, of course, when he was over there in Toronto, he was first in bench points, rebounds, blocks, stocks, threes, free throws, bench wins, double-doubles. I mean, this guy is going to be a great veteran fit for the Boston Celtics, as he comes from winning a championship, as you can't take that away from him, but he has gotten much better from the three-point range, as he shot just about 4 attempts a game and about 36%. So that's definitely something that could still be worked on. Definitely solid for someone at his size, for someone that's not too known for shooting too many threes. But I think that he's a great fit for the Celtics. There was a lot of talk about maybe Ben Simmons coming over here. Of course, that could still be an open opportunity if the Celtics make some moves. They got some cap space to kind of shed a little bit, but I think that there's going to be some trades upcoming again. This one kind of came up on a random Tuesday. Of course, Brad Stevens knows when to catch us off guard, but I think that's going to happen again, and maybe we'll see some guys that we're going to talk about kind of get signed to this main roster with that one open roster spot, but only Brad Stevens knows what's going to happen. But I really wanted to touch on this Boucher signing because I think this is great, and I think it's going to be an awesome fit. And hopefully down the line, the Celtics will love to have him around for a little bit longer. He's 32 years old, so I think that this is a solid piece to stick around if this is a retooling year with Jayson Tatum coming back in the next season. I think that this is a guy that could stick around and come off the bench and be a great player for them. But with that being said, guys, this is getting interesting because the Boston Celtics are now in a very odd situation with these signings, with that regular roster spot still being open, and what exactly are they going to do with that? There's some talks that possibly they could make a trade to open up some more money opportunity to bring in Al Horford once again, which I'm sure as a Celtics fan who doesn't want to see Al Horford come back and finish his career with the Boston Celtics, I would definitely love to see that. But who knows what's going on with Al Horford right now. But there's two guys that I did talk about in the intro that definitely need to be talked about. And first, we are going to go into Charles Bassey. Charles Bassey, as you can see here, has got some interest from overseas teams. But if we look at how well he played in the Celtics Summer League, he averaged in 3 games 15.3 points per game on 70.4% shooting from the field, 11 rebounds per game, and 2 blocks per game. And of course, at this point, this is only in July. It said, did he earn a spot? Did he do enough, to secure a full-time roster spot? And when I'm looking back, I totally thought he was deserving of it. But now the Celtics have made a bunch of different moves since then, signing Minot, signing Garza, and it kind of just lost space for him in this roster. But now with this open roster spot still open and them kind of getting off of some of that luxury tax and all the salary cap that they just shed, which is absolutely incredible to see Brad move all this money, kind of getting under $301 million from where we started, I think is truly incredible, and there's still more money to be moved. But I totally think he deserves an opportunity on this roster with that roster spot, whatever may happen. I think a lot of Celtics fans, if you did watch him in the Summer League, besides these averages, he just looks like he should be on an NBA court. Only 24 years old. So I think that this is a good spot for the Boston Celtics. Again, the season of opportunity that this could be someone that they could go up and actually get a signing contract, because he was getting interest, like I said, from overseas teams, but he seems inclined to stay in the NBA, and with Boston being a preferred destination, as the offseason progresses, the Celtics continue to assess their options, weighing the possibility of adding Bassey amid their ongoing cap space challenges, which we of course know, and the outcome of these negotiations and potential trades will be crucial as Boston looks to solidify its roster in wake of significant changes. So this is just extremely interesting because Bassey, again, played so well for the Celtics, and I truly really wanted him to have an opportunity with this Boston Celtics team because of how well he played. He's been in the NBA for a few years now, and only at 24 years old playing a decent amount in the NBA. You can't take away from that, as kind of giving a little bit of a comparison here. He's pretty much the same age as Baylor Shireman, who's going into his, second year now, and Bassey has had 4+ seasons experience in the NBA, so you can't take that away from him. And with the center depth that the Celtics have with Garza and Neemias Queta, and I guess the small ball with Chris Boucher, Bassey can actually play the center. I think that this is a great opportunity to bring in a guy like him who will, be a little bit of a cheaper contract, which is what they're looking for. So I think this is a great opportunity for the Celtics to go out and bring in, I guess you could say, a familiar face from the Summer League to come and get his opportunity as well. But somebody who really didn't get any opportunity because he was just drafted by the Boston Celtics, is Amari Williams. Because now with that trade with Georges Niang, the Boston Celtics do not have an open two-way contract. As we can see here from Keith Smith, RJ Lewis is signed to a 2-year, two-way contract. He'll fill in the Celtics' open two-way roster spot. Boston's other two current two-way players are Miles Norris, of course, and Max Shulga. Chris Boucher will be on the vet minimum deal and will fill the spot opened up by trading Georges Niang to Utah. And Boston has one open roster spot and is about $7.8 million under the second apron. So what does this mean for Amari Williams? Because he's a second-round guy, didn't really show too much that the Celtics would have liked in the Summer League. Kind of showed a little bit of flashes, but not what you really wanted to see from the hype and the type of player that he was. I mean, of course, he looked like he already needed work and was going to be a two-way guy, being that second-round draft pick. But now there's no two-way contract available for him. And there's a couple of options that the Celtics can kind of go here, of course. And one being they waive one of the current two-way guys, most likely Norris, and replace him with Williams, in which I don't necessarily see the Celtics doing because he played very well in the Summer League as well. He brings a lot of length and he could go and shoot the three well, which Amari Williams can't do too well. But again, Miles Norris can go out and guard a bunch of different positions, and I think he brings the type of versatility that the Celtics are looking for. So that's not really the best looking option when it comes to a first option for Amari Williams to get a contract. Number 2 would be sign Williams to a full-scale NBA contract and give him a roster spot with the main team. Again, you don't really see this with a lot of second-round picks, and with how the Summer League went with Amari Williams, I do not see that happening either. So then number 3 is they convert one of the two-way guys to a full-scale NBA contract and then sign Williams to a two-way, which would ultimately be Miles Norris. And did Miles Norris prove enough for the Boston Celtics to do that? And that's another question up in the air, because Miles Norris, again, did not get a lot of time on the court last year. He proved to play well in the G League. I believe he averaged 17 points per game in the G League last year. Played solid in the Summer League, but was it enough for them to be confident in bringing him up instead of bringing another option like Charles Bassey, which brings in this whole kind of loop of things that we were just talking about, because Bassey deserves this spot. If there's an open roster spot and it's someone that they like, he could fill that position. But that position could also be filled by Al Horford if a trade is made. So the Celtics have a lot of different options here. But with Amari Williams, as we read here, Williams will be heading into an unrestricted free agency in the coming months, where he will likely find himself landing in the G League or in the hopes of developing and impressing another team around the NBA. But the Celtics do have the rights to him first. So if there is nothing there for Amari Williams, I believe that he will be on the main Celtics, just not on a two-way contract. But I think that the way that he played, you could definitely see that he needed some work in his game. And I think spending that full season on the main Celtics will be huge for Amari Williams in his game. If we read here, continuing on, the rookie finds himself in a tough spot. He doesn't have a three-point shooting to be a viable 4 in the Celtics rotation, which, of course, like I said, Miles Norris definitely beats him in that category and doesn't project to be a better prospect than Luka Garza or Neemias Queta at the 5. And if you guys know how those two have played in the past, that's not really the best thing to hear. And Williams may be an unintended casualty of the Celtics roster. Moves on Tuesday, unfortunately for him, and that is a harsh reality of the NBA, so on and so forth. So guys, there is a lot of moving pieces for the Boston Celtics to be made in the future. Are there going to be possible trades being made? I believe so. What's going to happen to a lot of these guys that we just talked about? Amari Williams with Charles Bassey. Is there the potential of Al Horford coming in? You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think and who you want to see the Boston Celtics bring in. And with anything else that went on, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. And if you guys love this video, please go ahead and drop a like on this one. And we will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully Brad Stevens keeps on cooking. And lastly, let's go Boston Celtics, baby. See you guys in the next one.